One of the things I really liked about the Fiesta Rally VXL is its low center of gravity chassis. Getting the center of gravity as low as we can get it is always important for oval track racing. First time I put this car on my oval track in my backyard, I found out it was just a tick too low. But with this chassis, all that is easy to fix. This being a Traxxas ready to run, you get one of their radios with it. I think Traxxas recognized that a 3S capable 10-scale car is going to be kind of a handful. To help with that, they give us a TQI radio that has the Traxxas stability management system built in. And for a lot of us old farts, that turned out to be a good idea. And this radio is set up to accept a Traxxas Wi-Fi module, which I'm going to put in, and we'll do another video on why I did that. Of course, you get the instruction manual, a bunch of shock spacers, and some tools. And for the guys that want to take this thing out and go 60 miles an hour in a place they probably shouldn't be doing that, they include this speed pinion. My car came with a 13-tooth pinion installed at the factory. If you try general running around and bashing with this big pinion in there, you're going to kill batteries and maybe the motor. Because Traxxas doesn't want us to hate them, they put their clipless body system in this car. But they did move the clips to the center of the body rather than the ends. Sooner or later, I'm going to remember that they're in the middle and not fish around on the ends looking for the clips. Traxxas includes their oil-filled Ultra shocks on this car. At the speeds this car can hit in the backyard, hitting bumps can be a real issue. Want to bet during the development of this car that somebody hit a curb at speed with this thing? And we also have oil-filled Ultra shocks with progressive springs on them in the rear. The upper shock mounts use a metal ball rather than a shoulder screw. It may seem like a small point, but it helps keep the shock free so it can do its work. I also like that this chassis looks a lot stronger than it does exotic. We mainly need a rigid platform to let the suspension do its work. And the no clips theme carried over to the battery hold down that'll secure both the 2S and 3S battery pack. I like that you don't have to reconfigure anything to go from a 3S to 2S battery pack. Continuing the heavy-duty out-of-the-box theme, Traxxas put a very trick-looking aluminum drive shaft in this thing. I've heard people say that the steering servo isn't fast enough, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be panicking while you're driving the car, so maybe you just need to settle down and learn. The receiver is hiding in this waterproof case. And that's next to the Valenian VXL 3S speed control. And we need that to feed power to the Valenian 3500 kV motor. I put a couple of battery packs through this car and can attest that we need to control this motor. I forget what they call these tires, but they work very well on any of the surfaces I've had them on. Pitch this car sideways on my dirt oval track and they throw dirt all over the place, and that means they're working. Everything about the suspension on this car is heavy duty. I'm not a big fan of these cross pins in the axles, but I expect with the power this thing has available, they're necessary. And that pin fits into a metal insert in the wheel. Traxxas installed the extreme heavy-duty suspension kit at the factory, and I've tested it out, and they are strong. Part of that extreme heavy-duty package are these drive shafts that appear to be as bulletproof as we're going to get. I'm still going to do a full-on video about driving the VXL on my oval track and what we do to set it up for that. But I had a car that was ready to run, and I just had to get it out on the track to see. This is all box stock, with the only exception being that I moved all of the shocks in one hole on the bottom. My track is still a little lumpy and it was bottoming out in a couple of places on the track, and that little change on the shocks fixed that. I've already ordered some pinion gears for this car because I know that's going to have to change. I think if we drop that pinion gear down 2 or 3 teeth, this car's going to like this length track a whole lot better. In the meantime, I'm going to work on not going quite so wide and quit stress testing those suspension parts. I wonder just how effective a spoiler could be on an RC car of this size. And this being my first time on the track with this car, there's a lot of speed left in here. Then I noticed this. There's the vortex in this dust as the car goes through the sunny spot on the track. I'll be dipped. And a big soft one, no less.